Okay. That should be. I don't know why this game is so quiet. Hold on. Let's get some background music. I haven't had to use it actually in quite a while because I just haven't needed it. Which, don't get me wrong, it's nice not to have to put on music myself because I've just been playing Dead by Daylight, which I'll definitely be playing more of on stream. But um, I was thinking like, man, I don't want to do that too often. Right? I don't want to play too much Dead by Daylight in a row, because I know I would probably get bored of it, and so would everyone else. So I decided, how about Half-Life 2? I love this game.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman.
Most of this game.
Rise
Um,
and shine.
It's not the prettiest looking
To
game,
imply you have been sleeping
but
on the job.
as you can see by
No
the G-Man
one is
here,
more deserving
uh,
of rest, and all the effort in the
but
world would
I
have
played it a
gone
long
to
time ago, like
waste
2018.
until-
That was a long time ago for me, at least.
Let's just
And
say
never
your hour has
quite finished
come
it.
again.
I got to G-Man, you can.
The right
how do-
man in
No,
the
you can't
wrong
skip this.
place
There's a
can
way to,
make
I just
all
don't
the
know how.
difference in the world.
I believe you're not supposed to
So
be able to
wake
skip this
up,
cutscene.
Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
But I decided to replay through it after watching a bunch of Desync's stuff because he's funny. So we are going to be. Now, I finished it, but I just had a really fun time with it. I thought it would be kind of fun to play on stream. I love how this guy's just like, oh, I didn't see you get on. There's literally one other person here. You feel like you would have noticed. Or at least noticed, I'm guessing, the really obvious point when Gordon teleported in. Because I don't know, man. Yeah, yes. There we go. Come on, Source Engine. You can do it, buddy. See, and that's why I had a lot of fun with it. The second time around, this might be too distracting. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the wrong thing. But God, that Night in the Woods is actually one of my favorite games. It was so much fun to play. Because it was just right. It was like the perfect just chill. I'm gonna play some music with some with some animal friends, and it was just great game. Sorry. Messing with the you can actually skip through this door if you're fast enough, which I could have been, but I forgot. Yeah. Oh shit! I should brought something with me. I don't entirely know how to make the NPCs continue because like you can speed them up.
I got a standard relocation coupon just like everybody else.
What's up, Cave Johnson? How's it going? I mean, that's just what that guy sounds like, at least. I love Cave Johnson's voice. Like, he's probably one of the most memorable NPCs Valve has ever created. Yeah. You can see how they know how the NPC skip works, where if you have an item held just right over their head, you'll skip them to, like, their next iteration. Like, if you, like, that's why it's falling, is because it's like, you can't do that. No doing that. I need to steal from this guy. So, we're gonna Skyrim this. Fuck you, Barney.
Sorry, Doc, but
Hold on. I think the game might still be going. I'm trying to get rid of distracting music in my playlist. Because, you know, I still want focus to be on the game. Anyway. That should be good.
as long as he stays away from checkpoints, we should be okay.
Checkpoint? Come on, it's a combine. They're everywhere. Shut up, Kleiner. What did he ever do for me?
You're gonna have to make your
I
own
actually
way
haven't
to
played
Dr.
Half-Life
Walker's
1.
lab.
I'm thinking of getting...
Man, that's what I was afraid of.
I'm thinking of getting Black Mesa at some point. Because I have heard quite a bit about Half-Life 1, and it's mostly people not liking a lot of sections of the game. Mostly them complaining about On a Rail and Zen. And they completely redid those in Black Mesa. And apparently they are very good. So... Ow! I picked up your stupid ass can. Thanks. Just doing my part to stop the combine from littering. Because you know those guys, they won't stop at anything. Reason to receive a dear Dr. Breen. Ugh, shut up, dude. Oh, this is a bad look. This guy, man. I mean, I know he's supposed to be our one-dimensional bad guy for the story. Well, kind of two-dimensional. His second dimension is the fact that, he's in the same situation as the rest of us. He happened to be at the Black Mesa incident. So I guess the Combine trust him more? My Backhop is going to be a little bit... I'm a little bit rusty. I actually used this area originally as my practice. I would just go, and this is when I still used spacebar. So I switched over to not save game. I don't care. I actually switched over to mouse wheel down for a jump. But unfortunately, my old mouse would sometimes scroll up with its wheel whenever I scrolled down. It was not a great mouse. I don't know what I expected from it. It was like the basic cyber power mouse you get with all of their computers. So I wasn't really expecting greatness from it, but I was expecting better than that. So it's just gonna be a nice, chill, quick, well, as quick as Half-Life 2 can be. This is actually a surprisingly long game. Like, even after having finished it almost twice, it's still really long, actually. Like, my, second playthrough, because I was doing this the whole time, it was a little bit faster than most, sure. But also, I would quick save, however you do that. Is it... How do I quick save again? F6, F9. I would quick save before I did anything crazy, and then play the game like the right way after. Well, the right way. I still ignored almost everyone. I was kind of just being a dick version of Gordon. Because this poor guy, right? He was just a scientist at Black Mesa when the Black Mesa incident happened. And then, like, that. He then got roped into G-Man's whole thing. No, I'm
Told you they'd be coming for us next.
I'm out. I'm leaving. Come on. Damn it. I'm too thick. Let me out. Can I just leave? Oh, I can't. Okay. I actually, strangely enough, haven't ever seen a Half-Life 2 speedrun. Off the top of my head, at least. And also, the speedrun of every Half-Life game looks nothing like playing through it normally. Because it's all people, at least for Half-Life 2, doing backhops. And, like, not... And, like, all you see is them strafing backwards and like all that kind of stuff. It's just speed running of a game is always so much different, but I think Half-Life 2 really takes the cake. Maybe Half-Life 2 or see, that's the thing, is that most games, even older ones, are made in such a way that the speedrun has to be at least relatively normal. Like, if you, I don't know, maybe a decade ago, watched a speedrun of, like, Ocarina of Time from Zelda, it would be pretty normal. Well, actually, it would be a little bit longer than a decade ago. Like, it would just be, like, yes, they would skip some things.
Dr.
Get the fuck
Freeman,
out of here,
I presume.
Alex. But it would just be relatively normal.
Better hurry.
Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up, you don't want to get in their way.
And then they figured out stale reference manipulation.
Dr. Kleiner said you'd be coming
Can I
this
just
way.
jump out this window and leave?
I don't think it occurred to him.
I can. Sorry, I went offline. The quick save key for Half-Life 2 happens to be the exact same as my stop streaming button. Hold on, let me relaunch Half-Life. That was awkward. Whoops. I didn't think of that. Like, it wasn't even on the top of my head. Let's see. I do have the quick save, luckily. The quick save that shut off. Yeah, just okay. I did jump off and I did die. God, I thought it was just incredibly stupid. F5, F6. Let's change that to F7. Because luckily none of those other keys do anything. Did that work? Yeah. Okay. Now then, let's play some more Half-Life. God, I thought I was just offline the whole time. Hold on, wait. Is there a pallet nearby? No, the last pallet is pretty far away. I can't even take that guy's body with it. What is this? This isn't Half-Life. I actually don't have Half-Life 2, Chapter 1 or 2.
I'm sure you don't remember me though.
No, I don't. What the fuck was that look?
You had a few words, aren't you?
Yes. MIT really makes sure of that. See, it's supposed to be that
Remember
if
me from Black Mesa? Your old administrator.
you can block
I'll get my dad started on Dr. Breen.
an NPC's path, then
Through here.
they will skip to their next possible position. It's incredibly difficult to do. At least without any knowledge of how to do it, which I happen to have
You showed
none
up
of.
on this day in particular.
That is a very dangerous prop as of now. Whenever a prop starts being weird in Half-Life, you know there's a problem coming. And you know what? Surprisingly, I thought that learning the Backhop would be really hard. Like most speedrunning tricks, I thought it would be like a 2-day kind of like, all right, let's brute force my way through this, learning how to use this trick. Maybe
Nice to finally meet you.
maybe 2 minutes. Like, I just looked it up, and that was all I needed. Oh, I should have brought a pallet. Oh, wait, no, pallet jumps don't exist anymore. I'm gonna steal your fucking cactus.
Uh-oh, everything all right, Dr. Kleiner?
Okay. Oh. You have a god-awful teleporter, Kleiner. Oh, there we go.
It really is you, isn't it?
No.
Found him wandering around outside. Bit of a troublemaker, isn't he?
Yep,
We owe
that's
a
me.
great deal to Dr. Freeman, even if trouble does tend to follow in his wake.
I'm a brute force.
I must say, Gordon, you come at a very opportune time.
Can I blow any of this stuff up?
Alex has just installed the final piece for our resurrected
See,
teleporter.
okay, the problem with playing Half-Life is I don't know whether to...
Your talents surpass
The thing about Gordon
Let's
is
just see if this thing
there's no backstory. Well, there is, obviously, but That's how you get like. Anyway,
We can't keep him here long, Doc. It'll jeopardize everything we've worked for.
He's coming with me.
because he doesn't say anything, it means that I can be the one talking. I'd be like, hey Kleiner, hey, that kind of a thing.
You mean it's working?
So
For real this time?
the only two things you can do as a Half-Life player, well, streamer, I suppose, is either be talking as yourself or be talking as Gordon.
What cat?
And I really
He's not taking the street.
don't know where to put myself with that.
I almost forgot.
Should we talking as Gordon or as me?
I've got to get back
And in a
on my
completely unrelated note, I played a couple more matches of Dead by Daylight, and I'm finally able to actually unlock a new killer. But I don't know who.
Get it off me!
Come on, Barney, you fought worse. You fought
I
the.
thought you got rid of that pest.
Certainly not. Never fear.
You fought like.
She's
Oh, I don't actually know what half of them are called. I don't know what any of the enemies are called, except for head crabs, obviously. Who doesn't know what a head crab is? They're head crabs. Like, they are one of the most famous video game enemies of literally all time.
Those are quite fragile. Oh, fine. It'll be another week before I can coax her out of there.
Yeah, longer.
Why did Kleiner keep a head crab?
You're not an animal person.
Also, I have a lot of questions about the Half-Life lore in general
Your HEV suit still fits you like a
that
glove.
this game doesn't actually answer that I know of. Like,
Made a few modifications, but I'll just
why are the Combine here? Like,
let's see.
originally it was a resonance cascade, which I guess kept happening, right? You didn't.
Suit has been redesigned.
Well, no, because you killed the big alien in Zen, Nihilith, which is supposed to be where all of the well, not Combine, the head crabs and whatnot are from. So I guess maybe those are two completely,
To draw power from combine energy outlets.
like, literally two unconnected events. I have no idea.
Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, look at that! It's Dr. Coomer, and there's me, the only person with a goatee. Get the fuck in there, Klein. I don't want to look at this picture. And I'm guessing that was supposed to be Dr. Brain before he.
Come on. Dr. Cleaner's waiting.
Fuck you. That was very aggressive. I'm sorry. Sorry, Alex. At least in the old engine, you could like put a pallet in there with Alex and it wouldn't.
Panel over there and wait for my word.
Isaac, are you there?
I graduated from MIT, dude. Like, you don't need to tell me what to do.
Found his way in.
I see switch, I flip switch.
That's not who I think it is.
No, it's not.
Indeed it is, and it's our intention to send him packing straight away in the company of your lovely daughter.
Are you ready for us, Dad?
Did this guy
Do it.
actually exist originally? Like, or was he created specifically for this game?
Base and LT overfall, no conditions may be more ideal.
I think Kleiner's gone mad.
Time.
Hey, yeah, about that cat.
Don't worry about the cat. Don't worry about any cat. He didn't even get to finish his line. Why did he even start up without me flipping the switch? Come on.
Very good. Final sequence.
Yeah, say your
Commencing.
dumb quip.
I can't look.
Not that one. The MIT one. How do they just develop this? Like, they're in some janky garage in the middle of Combine-controlled areas,
My belief is almost
and yet they created teleportation technology.
Dr. Freeman proved an able assistant. Right you are. Speak to you again in a few moments.
Good job, Gordon. Throwing that switch and all.
There we
I
go,
can
there
see
it
your
is.
MIT education really pays for itself.
All right.
How long has it been since Half-Life 1?
Thanks.
Gordon, as soon as you're in a position,
Because
And not a moment too soon.
at least Half-Life Alyx happens before 2 and after 1.
in 3,
or maybe even before Half-Life 1. I actually have no idea, but it's within Combine control. Like the Combine controls the world already. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't have been before Half-Life 1 because Dr. Breen controls everything. So how long has it been since Half-Life 1 at this point? You can like actually move some during this thing. It doesn't do anything. I mean, you're just like slow motion, but how are there so many like Vortiguns? Is that how to say that? Probably not. Why are there so many of them? Fuck you, Bean. Because they came from the Resonance Cascade. That means there can only be so many of them. Because whatever happened during the Cascade couldn't have continued. I don't know. Maybe if I actually played Half-Life 1, I would know better. Okay. If I could move. Yeah, this isn't where I'm supposed to go. No, wait, where am I going? As you can see, I've played this game multiple times already and know exactly where I'm going. This tutorial section is actually really boring. I thought of skipping it, like insertion point, but God, the Citadel is really pretty.
Hey, Gordon.
Like, I love the idea of just one tower shooting up through the sky, like all the way up.
17 as fast as you can, Gordon. Take the old canals, right? They'll get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a network of refugees.
God, the
They'll help you if
canals.
they can. I'd come with you, but I gotta look
That
after
level
Dr.
took me
Kleiner.
hours when I originally played.
I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa.
Oh, it's my piece of metal.
Good luck out
Thank
there,
you.
buddy. You're gonna need it.
Like, God, the mission with the airboat took so long and so many hours. Well, it probably didn't actually take all that long. I think I'm just remembering it a lot. Because it is still relatively long. Like, this game's missions are long. They're not that long, but they're long enough to be annoying sometimes. But definitely not terrible. Like, this whole section isn't bad. Right, there's at least always things going on, which is nice. Like, it's not usually, like, a whole lot, but it's something. Like, you get guns and whatnot for the first time, and yeah, good stuff. You get a backhop some. Not much, though. It actually took a long time before I could really start using it. Like, probably a couple hours in before I could really use it, because I wasn't good at it yet. So I didn't, like, I could do it there, but it's not like a long enough section to really be worth it. And I get it, you know, save frames and everything, but I'm not a legitimate speedrunner. I've tried. I tried with Outer Wilds, sorry. I haven't actually finished Outer Worlds. I bought it a long time ago because I love Obsidian. They're a great development company and have made many classic games. What am I supposed to do here? Just wait for the next train? Oh, Jesus. Oh, it just stops. Wow, thanks, Valve. Fuck. See, look, what did I say? I'm a professional player. I actually never screwed this up. I don't even think the first time I played I screwed that up. Like, literally my first ever time playing a Half-Life game, I don't think I did that bad. Perfect. Ow. That was actually a massive mistake. Oh, wait a minute. Cool. Alright, let me just get out of here. Alright, nice. I also have finished very few achievements in this game. Like, some of them are surprisingly difficult. You would think because it's a Valve game, it wouldn't be terrible, right? Most of their achievements, actually, no. Portal 2 has some rough ones. I mean, like finding the lost test. I've never actually done that. I've looked for it. Right, back when I used to play Portal 2 a lot. But I never did end up finding it. So, and I didn't want to look it up either. Because, I don't know, it was one of those things where it's like, I want to be the one to find this for myself, right? I didn't have anything like that, really. And, I mean, okay, I have all of my Outer Wilds playthrough. I used no guides during that game. I got close so many times. Like, at the end, I was like, I think I know what I need to do. But I think it might be wrong, so I wanted to look it up, but I didn't. I stopped myself. And don't get me wrong, using guides isn't anything to be ashamed of. Like, they're there for a reason. A game is difficult for a good reason. Oh, that was G-Man. Also, this door doesn't have collision for items. Don't call me the Freeman. I have a goddamn name. Like, you can't get through it, but every prop in the game can. Like, look. You can just... Yeah, items just clip through it. It's not helpful to anyone, and you did nothing. It doesn't help anyone in any way, but that's kind of just a weird thing. What was I talking about? Right, finding things. I think that's why I liked Outer Wilds so much. Actually, I did for a multitude of reasons, such as it's a damn good game. Like, it is a classic already, right? Where it's one of those games that people will be talking about and playing forever, kind of like Hollow Knight is now, where it's just good. There's no other way around it. It's legitimately a good game, and it's one of the few that is almost universally good. And I think the only reason some people don't like it is its art style. And don't get me wrong, when I first thought about playing it, its art style kind of... even I was skeptical about it. Like, I looked at it and I was like, that's kind of a weird style. Like, everything was really small. Almost. Where, like, the planets were, like, really small with just, like, sections in it. But I really grew to like it. I mean, it's a good enough game as is. I don't know if the art style is worth completely disregarding it. I did see one Steam review that essentially said that. Like, I would have loved to play it, but I didn't really like the art style. And that's fine. You know, people like what they like, and if they didn't like the art style, they don't have to play the game. Like, I mean, I feel like they're missing out on honestly one of the greatest games of all time, just as a puzzle game. There's something about its puzzles that is just so great. Right? The way that the environment tells you how to finish the puzzles, even when you are never told how. I think one of my favorites was the answer to the anglerfish puzzle. And I mean, they're not directly puzzles, it's more you need to figure out how to get past something. And it tells you exactly what you need to do. It shows you, here is the base principle for this entire area. Like, this entire thing is based around this one principle that you figure out almost on accident. That while it mentions it to you, it doesn't directly say, hey, this will be important, except for in this case. It's like, hey, look, here's, oh, here's how we found this thing. And you're like, okay, that's how I'll get to it then. But that's the whole thing. That might actually be kind of spoiling. Essentially, play Outer Wilds. It's very good, and the developers deserve far more than they have. I mean, they've gotten so much from it already. You know, now being one of the most recognized indie devs. I mean, it's kind of like the Hollow Knight devs, right? Everyone, like almost everyone knows who Team Cherry is now. Whereas, like, 5 years ago, no one had ever heard of them. They hadn't made anything yet. But then, when Hollow Knight released, everyone's like, oh, wow, okay, this is really good. And they just kept adding more to it. Like, with at least 4 DLCs, upgrading not only endgame content, but early game as well. Like, the way you play early game has changed almost entirely from the original game. Because there are just differences. There are quality of life improvements and, like, all this stuff that have just become better. It's... I mean, I hadn't really played any Metroidvania games beforehand. But now I really want to try out more of the not the franchise, but the style of game. But they're just so rare. Like, I saw a game on Steam that hasn't come out yet that was clearly, like, it was so obvious. Just a... Not quite a reskin, but something similar of of Hollow Knight, where it's like, oh, hey, I think I've seen these vines before, right? Where, like, it looks essentially the exact same as Hollow Knight, and it's like, come on, guys, really? I get Hollow Knight was good, and even I had commented on the fact that I was looking forward to Outer Wilds and Hollow Knight ripoff games, because we all knew they were coming really soon. Oh, I haven't found that one yet. And you know, they've got to be at least halfway decent quality, because the original games were. But this one, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look good either. But, you know, it's not something I would, like, entirely disregard for any specific reason. I don't know. I think it's just... I don't want there to be ripoffs of Hollow Knight. I know there will be, and I know there are people who are like, whoa, you know, maybe they had the same idea. It's like, no, this is Hollow Knight again, because people can't come up with new ideas. The gaming industry has been dealing with this literally for decades. Like, ever since gaming has been a thing, they've been dealing with the same, like, 3 gaming companies ripping each other off. Or not even rip each other off, more, the original company losing their developers to the new ones. Like, I mean, Valve has actually dealt with that a lot recently, with the old Left 4 Dead devs just leaving Valve. and creating Back for Blood. Like, it is Left 4 Dead again, and they said that it's the successor to Left 4 Dead, just under a different title. Like, it's pretty obvious too, because it's Left 4 Dead. It has very basic gameplay. You shoot at a zombie, and that's it. That's Left 4 Dead. No one goes into Left 4 Dead looking for anything else, because that's the point of Left 4 Dead. Is you go in with your friends and you shoot some zombies, or alone if you're just really sad. Oh, man hacks. Oh, you can hear them. Alright, bye, buddy. It's me, Gordon Freeman, the savior of the resistance. I'm gonna save everyone. Get out of here. That box is my worst enemy now. Right, I forgot there's explosives. Those are, I may be really, really powerful, but, yeah, you know, even the HEV suit can't really do much against explosives. Strange, I know. Whatever. Yeah. Game company is losing developers and whatnot. I think it used to be a bigger problem, but now that the game development industry is so much larger, it just doesn't matter anymore. Like, of course, it still matters some, but it's not like, oh, Valve lost this head developer, you know, everything is gonna go wrong, and every game from now on is gonna be garbage. It's, yeah, Valve lost like 50 employees today. Huh? That's actually pretty low for Valve, right? It's like they have left, well, they've essentially left game development, right? I haven't heard a single announcement from them, and most of their announcements are complete garbage anyway. Like, did they even announce Half-Life Alyx before it came out? Like, I actually don't. I really wasn't. I mean, I don't have VR or anything. I don't know how I would have learned about Half-Life Alyx, you know, before it came out, because I don't. It's not that I don't care. I had just never finished a Half-Life game, so I had no interest in the story. And yeah, I just, like, it seemed like a really cool game, and if I ever get a Vive or something, that'll definitely be one of the first games I pick up. But I just, does it even help the Half-Life story at all? Like, I feel like I've heard people complaining about it, because it kind of, like, it doesn't really, like, it's not super helpful to the canon. And it's just, you know, it's, what's his name? Alex's dad getting kidnapped again. Seriously, all the time. Like, that's like the through line of every chapter of Half-Life 2 is, yeah, Mr. Vance got kidnapped again. It's like, god damn it, dude. And I don't even know why. Like, sure, he's probably halfway important to the Resistance, but he's not. They should go after Kleiner. He's the real dangerous one. They don't need Vance. No, like, you know, I don't know. Is this the way I came in? No. Okay, good. I get turned around a lot. Like, I've still finished this game once and a half. And I played through this beginning part a bit more. And every time we get a new weapon in this game, I don't use it. Like, I stuck with the pistol for a long time, and then eventually I was like, alright, now these enemies are powerful enough, I need to actually, like, care. Was this just a dead end for more items now? So it was just like me continuously keeping at the lowest, at the second lowest ranked weapon I had. Was this a dead end? No. It's a big explosive room though. I don't even think they got a single man hack. I think that just hurt me. That was some good usage there, Gordon. We really got him. That MIT PhD coming in hot. Really showing its worth. Luckily, I did solve this puzzle relatively recently, so I think I know it. I do. I remember how to solve this. There's gonna be some pro Half-Life. God, climb. It's Gordon. It's a ladder. He's bad at climbing. Oh god. I'm bad at climbing. See, sometimes you'll do that, and you'll just teleport onto the pipe. Like that. And then other times, it's like, you have to... You actually can't get that. Well, you can get that. It requires some tricky gameplay that I don't care about. Like, it's not worth the time. Even for, like, really good players, it'll take, like, half an hour to get that item. Perfect. Come on. There we go. Most of the puzzles are fine. Like, I don't have a specific problem with really any of Half-Life 2. I mean, other than the classic, hey, I don't like this character that much. And the fact that Dr. Breen is not a great baddie. Like, he's just kind of... He's just kind of there. Like, he isn't specifically threatening in any way. Like, you know, he's around, I'm like, oh wait. Whereas, like, there's no specific bad guy in Half-Life 1, right? It's just, it's whatever horrifying monster came out of the breach that time, right? But like, they're trying to connect him to Gordon by saying, oh, he worked at Black Mesa. Why does that matter? Why did the Combine choose someone from Black Mesa? Was it because they knew of the resonance cascade? Like, how did they know about that? That was not exactly public knowledge. In fact, the military tried their best to cover it up, going to the length of literally almost killing all of Black Mesa. People who could, in fact, would have helped the government solve their problem. Like, all they did was hurt themselves during the Black Mesa incident. Also, they lost like 300 guys just to Gordon and his science team. Like, imagine you're like the Marine Corps in the US military, tasked with going to a secret underground laboratory to kill a bunch of scientists because they know too much or whatever. And you get there and you just see piles and piles of dead bodies, not only from the huge amount of bombing that was done on the facility, but also your men. Like, you're sitting there and you're like, these are my, I worked with these people. And then going in, and there's Gordon Freeman with a goddamn laser just kind of existing. And you're like, aren't these guys supposed to be like huge fucking nerds or something? Isn't that who I'm supposed to be murdering? Not like goddamn Rambo with a Ghostbusters laser. That would be the worst assignment. And I think at that point you're like, why don't we just hire this guy? Why don't we hire the dude with the massive laser? That seems like it would only be beneficial. Like, yes, he knows, because, you know.
Hey, you're Freeman, aren't you?
Bye.
Word you were coming.
Okay. And then also, I understand that you can probably super easily breed head crabs. Right, they're head crabs. They probably breed by themselves without you doing much. But why use them as weapons? If it's someone like Gordon, don't they kind of want him alive? I mean, I know Dr. Breen is trying to kill you all game, but I think he knows just as well as the player does
Got this airboat all gassed
that
up and ready to go.
Gordon is 100 times more helpful alive than dead.
Civil protection out there in the open, but drive hard and you'll make it. You'll be warned
Yeah, no.
at Station 7.
God, this mission is such a pain in the ass.
It's the old red barn.
Like,
Come on in, fire her up.
it's so bad. Ugh. It's just it's so long, and you don't even have a gun for most of it. Like, it takes you getting literally to the end of the mission before you get a gun on this. And then it's like, well, I don't need the gun anymore. Right? I don't even specifically need the airboat. It's weird. This is just kind of a weird mission. I'm gonna try it and do it without the airboat. I should probably quick save. Hold on. Okay. Just in case. You never know how this is gonna end up. And also, I love how everyone just ends up using the crowbar for like 90% of the game. Because it's still like Gordon's best weapon. Because it's the classic crowbar. Right? It's like, I don't know if you ever get one in Half-Life 1. I've never actually seen a legitimate playthrough of Half-Life 1. I've only ever seen Half-Life VR, AI, and Freeman's Mind for Half-Life 1. So not exactly legitimate playthroughs in any capacity. You know, like, they're essentially spoofs on Half-Life playthroughs with, like, these weird alternate versions of Gordon. Oh yeah, I can't do this section without the airboat. And so I don't actually know what weapons you get in Half-Life 1. And don't get me wrong, both those series are great. I never finished Freeman's Mind. I started watching other things. Because it's really long and really old. Like, Freeman's Mind started releasing like 2009. And I mean, I get it, right? It's one of the most legendary machinima series of all time, other than like Red versus Blue or something. And it kind of helped bring Half-Life back into the spotlight, even years after the game released, because it was kind of the beginning of I'm not gonna say the beginning of Let's Plays on YouTube. I don't think anyone can actually trace when that was, but probably somewhere around 2010. Ugh, water hazard. It's just a bad thing. Here we go. Luckily, from this point onwards, you really don't need the boat, because most of the water isn't toxic, actually. It's mostly just clean water. I don't know how we got from toxic to clean water so quickly, but, you know, that's pretty cool. So, let's just right. So who needs to play the video game? Am I right? Oh, that was poor. That was bad. That was bad form. This is not a super hard trick. It's easy to learn, hard to master. Is the problem. Is you have to jump right as Gordon hits the ground. And sometimes that can be, well, incredibly difficult. That was actually the best I've ever done. And also most of these puzzles are about having the airboat. So if you just don't have the airboat, it doesn't matter. And also this puzzle is actually hard. You just gotta like... So as long as this goes up high enough, which it does after just a few, the real thing is getting the airboat here. So we'll see if I can get past this without the airboat, actually. I should be able to, in theory. I've never done it. In fact, I haven't actually done most of what I just did. That was a good group of back hops. It's pretty hard to do in water because I don't actually know when it counts as jumping because you're in water. Like, I think that kind of screws up when it counts as you're jumping. But if I get this well enough... Oh, that was really bad. Going up inclines is really one of the problems. Is large changes in terrain. Yeah, Gordon's not supposed to walk on that, so let's head back. You also don't actually have a need to go in there. Like, I think actual speedrun strats is jump off of that ramp there and kind of cruise around the side and then jump up and over this area like I did. I probably went up this. And then just skip that whole section over with the ramp. I don't even know if they have to finish the ramp. Like, I think if they're good enough, they can do the back hop in water. So as long as they're aimed properly, like right to there, they may not even need to finish any of the puzzles. Oh, that actually would have been really good.
Hey down there! Supplies!
How did you not find me? Jesus. Last time, I was literally just here. Like, literally last time, and I didn't hear that guy at all. Anyway. Probably I was going too quickly. I may have actually skipped the trigger itself. Which, in theory, should be really hard, but 3D games, if you're going fast enough... Ow. Let me retry that. I don't actually... Yeah, okay, quick save back here. If you're going fast enough... I don't know if this is possible anymore due to upgrades in game technology in multiple capacities, from engines to everything, but at least in Mario 64, probably like the worst way to go back. Because it calculates where you are every frame. If you're going fast enough, you can get past something. That's how the backwards long jump in Super Mario 64 works, is take this wall here. You're going fast enough that at the first frame, you're here, and the second frame, you're already inside of it. So there isn't a frame where it collides with you, because you're like here into there. It's kind of a fascinating idea. And something more fascinating is the fact that they found that out. Oh, yeah, you can probably jump right there.
Hey down there! Supplies!
I have... Okay, I've been streaming for muscle memory. Alright. That was muscle memory. Because I... You know, quick saving and quick loading are usually the same couple buttons. Anyway, that was bad form. God, I'm probably gonna lose. If I had any viewers, which I don't, I would be losing them. Because they're like, why the hell does this guy keep... Is he like... Oh. Oh. That was perfect. Did you see that? Oh. Truly amazing. And then... Oh, damn. Yeah, I wasn't going quite fast enough, but that was good. That was really good. I just need to, like, hit it more this way. That way I can hop over. Or do you think it would be better to go... no, those are too ramped. See, because you want it to be on a ramped surface. That way you have some way of... that was really bad. Some upwards movement. So that's why that corner is what I'm going after. The problem is that it's through water. And I already mentioned how that kind of affects everything. I actually kind of want to start speedrunning this game. Just because I like this trick so much. Like, it's the simplest little trick. But it makes for just some great moments like that. Where I skipped over a major portion of a puzzle. Like, look at that guy. Look at that. How do I zoom? See? Look at that fucking guy. The nerd? I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot that box, actually. Oh, I can't. There's a ramp. But that's the power of some of these speedrun tricks that I think people just don't quite realize, is that yes, speedrunners are breaking your favorite game, but they're doing it out of love, right? The reason I like this trick so much is because it's just hilarious. Ugh, it's great. Okay, the problem is that it turns to toxic water, so I'm actually just going to solve the puzzle. Unless I can get... I don't know if I'm good enough to get enough speed to... And also I was aimed that way too far. Like, that was... Oh, damn it. I went too deep into the water. There's a very specific angle. I mean, it's definitely not, like, hyper-specific, right? It's not like it's not like a pixel-perfect trick or anything. The problem with the Source engine is that sometimes you'll do the same thing twice and it will change how it works massively. And also, the fact that I'm backwards, so what did I bounce on? That's weird. Means that, like... Oh, yeah, you can see the blast mark from that guy dying. It means that even if I do the same thing like 3 times, there's absolutely no guarantee that it will be the same as the first time. Like, I mean, yes, that was essentially the same. Oh, I hit his backwards trigger. See, I think this is the way to go.
Look out below!
Is... How far forward can I go here? Oh, I can go all the way. Okay. I think... Oh, shit. I think the best idea is to go from here up to there and then launch over that way. We can try that. I think the problem is that whenever I ramp up, I have to go that way because that's how the wall is slanted. Yeah, you could kind of see it there, how it's slanted that way. So if I hit this, even going this way, I'll end up going over that way. So it's, you know, I need to... But at least I've kind of got that figured out. If I had, like, an actual guide or something made by a professional... Because there are pros who just speedrun Half-Life 2. I mean, you know, they're probably pretty rare. Just, like, actual professional speedrunners. Alright. In general, right, you don't see...
Hey down there! Supplies!
many pro speedrunners, probably for a good reason. Most of it's actually really hard. Like, you think, come on, I can finish it. I can do some of these tricks. Like, look at these people. They're doing them flawlessly. It's like, yeah, because they have literally hundreds, if not thousands of hours of practice at these tricks. You aren't going to get a super hard Super Mario 64 speedrun trick in a day. It's going to take you a long time. And you didn't even have to worry about that trick not Alright. You didn't have to worry about that trick not existing. Like, for a lot of old speedrunners, their major problem was that some of these tricks just didn't exist. If you started speedrunning really early, there was no way to know of new tricks. They either existed and you knew of them, or they didn't exist in your mind. Because there was no way for you to know, hey, if you do this specific thing, you'll skip this whole section. That couldn't exist. The internet wasn't big enough back then. Like, yes, there were speedrun forums, but they were
Hey down there! Supplies!
few and far between at best, and they were usually
Below!
hyper specific for what game they were. It was usually, hey, this one's Mario 64, or Mario Kart 64, or something like that. You didn't just have, like, you don't have what we have now where you're like, oh man, I really want to speedrun Hollow Knight. And I want to do the any percent of Hollow Knight with all the glitches. Well, not only are there hundreds of guides, there's also huge communities willing to help out anyone for any reason with speedrunning. It's gone from just a hobby and this niche version of gaming where you go as quick as possible to just a way people play games. And to think it all started with Doom 2. Like, sure, there were always speedrunners, but Doom 2 had a timer at the end, and also a percentage bar, and a second thing, which was the amount of time it took one of the developers to finish that specific section of the game. And I think that really helped people be like, oh, this could be a cool competition. Not that it wasn't an idea before, it was just there was finally a way to really show it off, right? There was no reason to play a game fast because no one was ever going to see it. All that was going to happen was, you know, you could tell your friends, hey, I beat Doom 2 and I beat this level in Doom 2 in 5 minutes. They'd be like, alright, that's kind of cool, I guess. Oh, that wire works. But with Doom and the fact that they created a way to share your runs, with a built-in system, like everyone who had Doom 2 not only could, but it was easy to see other people's runs because it would save the exact way that they played. Every button press was saved into a demo file, and then those demo files, because it was just a bunch of letters and numbers, were super small. So even on dial-up internet from the 90s, when Doom 2 Doom and Doom 2 came out, you could share them easy. Like, it wouldn't take 3 hours to upload an hour and a half long video of you playing Doom. It would just be like, hey, look, here's this thing that other Doom players can see. And while we don't use demos anymore, oh shit, I forgot just a quick second. And we really haven't since Quake and Doom, because there was no reason to, right? internet got better, you could share videos on YouTube and whatnot, it just became worthless to have that system built into your games because no one was really going to use it. I mean, and you know, the people who did and the communities they were a part of, like Speed Demos Archive, no longer exist. There are fragments of it, as there are fragments of everything that's ever been posted on the internet, but those fragments are small and mostly just people being like, hey, do you remember this thing? Oh yeah, I can remember that. Like, there aren't big pieces of it left. It's only memories, really. And, well, that is incredibly sad. That's just how it goes. Things are forgotten over time. Everyone is forgotten. It takes a while sometimes, but for something like Speed Demos, it was just a place where a bunch of, as people probably thought of speedrunners, they were weird. Why would they do that? Why would they spend so much time playing the same game and the same levels over and over again just to see the time go down? I think it's people not realizing that that's just how some people have fun. Even now, speedrunners are constantly asked, hey, why don't you just play the game normally? Why do you skip so much of the game? And I think people forget that sometimes they love playing through a game normally, but for me, I love exploiting games. There's a different kind of joy in it for me when I can play a game like Half-Life 2 and just annihilate it and play it completely wrong in a way that no one should ever have been able to play it. But that's just so much fun. It's such a beautiful concept to me that I can sit here and broadcast my dumb way of playing Half-Life to anyone who is willing to watch. And that's just how life is. Like, sure, for a lot of people, maybe it's not as much fun. Maybe they don't... Maybe the idea of playing the same section of a game continuously isn't fun. And I understand that. I hate replaying some parts of games. Shut the hell up, Breen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Unsophisticated minds continue to imbue him with romantic power.
I don't think I would ever become like an actual speedrunner. I'm really just not skilled enough for that. Like, I mean, I'm not bad at games, but you know, I'm not exactly speedrunner levels. You know, like grenade. Like, if I was a good enough speedrunner, I'd be most of the way through this game already. And while I may not know all of the best tricks for Half-Life 2 speedrunning, I don't need to. I mean, I do want to learn them and maybe at some point do legitimate runs, but, you know, we'll see. The problem with speedrunning is... the problem with the internet is people will do something once or twice because they're like, oh, this seems kind of cool, and maybe I'll become popular off of it. And that's all they can ever do. So many streamers start out as just playing Minecraft or just playing, or, you know, Call of Duty, and then that's all they will ever be known for. Sure, over time they could change the way people think of them to a variety streamer or something of the like. It would just take so long and just not be worth it. Like, what am I supposed to do here? That's right. And I mean, you know, that's why I'm trying to switch up what games I'm playing. 'Cause I'm trying not to fall into that trap, because I know it's a quick hole to get stuck in. You know, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone specifically in that. But you know, if you watch a streamer for one game, then you're probably not going to watch them for anything else. And everyone is like that sometimes for a streamer. Like, even a big streamer like... I think Ninja would be probably a great example. Right, he's known for playing Fortnite. That's it. Like, hell, you could have told me he never played anything else, and I would believe you for multiple reasons. First, if I don't watch Ninja at all, so that's most of it. But he does. I think he plays other things. He doesn't always want to be known as the Fortnite guy. And I feel like there's a lot of people like that who really want to play other games and really only played some games because they knew it would help them get popular quicker. And it creates the idea of, alright, well, I'm gonna do what everyone wants me to do when I'm streaming instead of doing what I want to do. And then once I'm popular, I can do what I want to do, and I'll have people watching me. But that kind of goes against the basis of the internet, which is that nobody cares or likes you. Well, there has to be someone who likes you. And it creates so many streamers who have hundreds or thousands or more followers with no active viewers because they decided to branch out. They decided to do something that wasn't the game they're known for. And it means that their numbers went down, and they'll probably just go back to doing what they did. And I get it. You expect content out of a streamer, but they're all doing it for fun. Well, most of them are doing it for fun. If I decided, hey, you know what? I really want to play just Half-Life 2. That'll be it for literally the rest of my career. And then, strangely enough, decide against it later on. Then, the people who are there to watch me play Half-Life 2, and self-finish without the airboat, will be like, what the hell, dude? Why aren't you playing Half-Life 2? And maybe I'll be like, I don't know. I played too much Half-Life 2. And it's just... I mean, that's why I'm playing so many games and trying to be a variety streamer from the very beginning. Okay. Because that's just what I feel is more fun, is the ability to play any game. Especially because I get burnt out really quick. Oh. And I mean real quick. Mostly because I feel like I go into things very gung-ho, right? Like, I'm gonna stream 5 days a week, every week from now on. And I used to do that. That was my original strategy was... Actually, my original strategy was stream 2 hours a day, every week. And that just wasn't sustainable. Like... for multiple reasons, such as I have other things to do in my life. Um, but also because it gets tiring. Like, you may think it's like, well, you're just fucking playing video games, dude. Can't be that bad. You try talking for 2 hours straight to what is essentially a wall. Not easy. And now I know most chats may be like, well, I'm not a wall. I'm here. Watching a streamer doesn't matter. Numbers really don't matter. It's engagement. If you have a chat of 200 people but no one's talking, it doesn't matter. You've got but you don't have a community yet. Like, that's the real difference, is whether you have a community or you have numbers. And I don't want to be one. I don't want to be a person who is going after numbers. I know that people probably don't like meta talk on Twitch. Hell, I don't even know if Twitch likes it. They're surprisingly really against streamers talking about a lot of things about how Twitch functions. Probably because it's kinda weird. Like, I feel like if people legitimately knew how Twitch worked, a lot of people would be like, why do people stream on Twitch? Like, Twitch takes quite a bit of the of bits and subs and all that kind of stuff. A pretty hefty portion, if early on at least, goes to Twitch. I don't know this directly because I'm not Twitch affiliate or partner, but you know, with some good guesses and hints from people who are, you can kind of realize that Twitch, it's an amazing streaming platform. I'll give it that much. It's really the best in the business for streaming, right? YouTube is better for being found, right? It's got, like, if you want to be found while streaming, hell, do Twitch and YouTube at the same time if you have that ability. But if you're someone like me who doesn't, because of the program I use to stream doesn't specifically allow that. Well, it does. I just needed their premium service, which is some bullshit or whatever. I can't really take full advantage of that. But does that really matter? I'm not really doing Twitch to be found as a streamer. I'm doing it because it seemed like a lot of fun. And it has been. It's been, for the most part, a great time. I mean, sure, there have been moments where it hasn't been. And every stream has its difficulties. From either, you know, there being no people or life getting in the way. That happens a lot. Because life can get busy real quick. We kind of forget how long 2 hours is when just talking about numbers. It's like, oh, come on, it's 2 hours. That doesn't take up too much of your day. That's about a sixth of the time I'm awake. Actually, it's probably less than that, because I'm up for quite a while. But that's a pretty hefty portion of my day that I would have spent playing video games anyway, so might as well do it on Twitch. Right, might as well try and get something rather than nothing out of it. And I mean, I love video games, right? They're how I spend most of my time. But that can come with problems of its own. mostly health things. And the fact that Purple Tunnel is really easy to do. Like, it seems like one of those things like, oh, come on, I'll never get that, but man, you sit wrong just a little bit, like your desk is off by a couple inches and that's it. Or if you have it a little bit and then start doing it correctly, it's not just gonna solve itself. Anyway, this part. Let's just use the big guns. This is like the highest ranking gun I used essentially all playthroughs. Because I like revolvers. Alright, let me do. There we go. Alright. Yeah, this area I can't actually back hop through. The only area I can is up here. The water is a little bit too deep. Unfortunately. And it doesn't matter, I can't... Oh god. Water is very deep. So I guess we're swimming. Because I don't have the airboat. And... Oh, I might actually be able to back up through this. Come on. Nope. I can't. A little bit too deep. This area isn't supposed to be specifically difficult, right? You're supposed to be speeding through this on an airboat. But you can see my problem of not having that still. So, you know, that was a personal choice, and I will live up to it. Plus because I can't do anything else about it. Like, I literally can't. There's nothing I can do about it. I hope that doesn't completely break the rest of the game. Oh well. If it does, I guess I'll suffer. Because you can't really backtrack most times. It stops you, for the most part. Like, it really doesn't want you coming, like, it doesn't... There's no reason for you to backtrack. I don't think it specifically blocks you, but it definitely doesn't make it, like, worth your time at all, if that makes sense. Okay, I need to get up. Just, there we go. It's really easy on sloped surfaces to back up, luckily. Because, like, you hit it just quickly enough. Oh no. I may have soft locked. No, I can survive. It takes a little bit of concentration and doing some sweet Counter-Strike surfing along this wall, but you know, it's fine. I'm getting close to the end anyway. Is that section in this? Somewhere there is a large open section similar to this with a gunship that's kind of like a mini boss area that isn't specifically not possible without the airboat, but it definitely won't be easy. In fact, this whole area will not be easy at all. Or maybe it will be. It won't be. This guy has immaculate aim. And I am not good enough at back hopping to get out of his way. Damn it. Alright, I guess I just have to be better. Get set up. I legitimately may have stopped blocking myself. Be the first person to ever somehow soft lock Half-Life. Oh god. That was intentional. Although a good back off, so. There we go. That one was really good. There we go. needs legitimate strategies? Like, I don't know if the plane is following me anymore. I don't think it can. I think I have gone too fast for it to be able to follow me anymore. Like, I think I skipped the trigger that allows it to follow me. If I hadn't hurt myself earlier on, this would be a lot better. But still pretty good, all things considered. So, oh, I'm gonna get health. I'm guessing it's oh, it can follow me. Oh god, I was too confident in my own ability. Open. Okay, let me just get past here really quick. It can't follow me much further. This section ends really soon. Oh, damn it. Alright. Strangely enough, this is going very poorly. Alright, if I can somehow get on top of those, I think I'll be fine. If I hadn't waited that long there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, if I can sprint back this way. If I can get enough speed going up over this hill. Damn it, go. Then I may be able to do that. Oh god. Maybe the end of our run of Half-Life. Yeah, I can't get going fast enough in this area. I may be able to get up on those sides, though. Guys, it didn't spawn me in the noxious goop. Nope, I got stuck. Alright. This is why you need to experiment and... Jeez, stop! Oh, God, I'm gonna quick save here. Okay. Alright. As long as I can get a back hop going here, that's good enough, I should be fine. Because I may be able to just skip the whole thing. It'll probably take a couple tries, though. Once again, not a super easy trick to fully do properly. And this water's just deep enough. Like, if I cross it at just the right point, it's fine. But, unfortunately, hitting that just the right point is not... Okay. See, sometimes you get that. Where you just fly perfectly across an area and hit it just right that you go flying further than you ever have in your entire life. But most times you don't. Damn. The Half-Life source engine, while good, isn't perfect. And yeah. Oh. I can almost sneak out here. But not quite. If I could somehow get a back hop going in this. But I don't think I can. So. Hope you like this music sting. You're gonna be hearing it a lot. Yeah, I didn't actually remember this area existed. So I wasn't specifically prepared to do it without the airboat. Actually, I wasn't even prepared for this to turn out this way at all. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. That's what we're going for. Is we're going for a launch off of that would take us far enough that we can survive with the health we have. It will be incredibly difficult, but it should be possible. Damn it. This will be the next couple minutes, at least. Oh boy. It would have been a good one. And what to talk about? See, I a lot of times have problems with thinking of something to talk about because I'm really not like a super interesting person, all things considered. And most of my good stories I've already told on stream because they're my good stories, right? Like, those are the ones that you're like, this is one that I'll get off like super quick. Like, it's good enough that you talk about it immediately, so then later you're like, well, now I have nothing to talk about. I mean, I can talk about essentially anything. See, if I could just get outside of this area a little more than this, but no, there's nothing here, and there's no props, so I guess we're soft locked. Ugh, it would take a long time to go back to where we need to be. But that does make a good place to end stream. This whole thing has been pretty good. Actually, let's just... What is this? What is this? Do I have... Nope. We got through a lot. Without the airboat. Root canal, root canal. Oh. Here's the airboat. I guess we can just keep going. I just wanted to get back to a place where I had the airboat. But I think I'll end stream, even though I've ended it like 4 times already on accident. This was definitely different, and I think I might continue this at some point. But I do want to do more Dead by Daylight. I think I'll get a new killer and level them up tonight, and then that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. Is we're gonna play with the new killer, I hope. So look forward to that. Be there if that stream happens. I'm still not gonna be fully reliant on my schedule. I'm gonna try and kind of do this whenever. Yeah, I'll probably see you then. Have a great rest of your days. See you, or day or whatever. See you then. Bye. Again.